Have you ever heard a ringing in your ears for no reason, in the middle of the day, in the midst of nothing, as if everything stopped for a moment? Perhaps you even thought it was just fatigue, stress. But deep down, something was telling you, this is not normal. This sound that comes from nowhere has a purpose. Few people understand. Many ignore it. But those who have been awakened feel differently. It is as if that sound carries a presence, a code, an energy that only those with the sensitivity of the chosen can perceive. And it is exactly about this that we will talk now. This video is not for everyone. But if you have come this far, it is because something greater is wanting your attention. The universe does not move without reason, and the invisible does not speak in vain. The ringing could be a message, an alert, a spiritual activation, a calling that you and only you have been equipped to hear. It may be that you are being guided to a new phase. It may be that you are being protected from something that you have not even seen yet. Or it could simply be a reminder. You are no longer in the world as you once were. You are awake. And now you need to learn to listen in a different way, because what comes from here on will no longer be noise. It will be direction. Here, you will understand what this sound really means for the chosen, not with guesses, but with spiritual clarity. You will see why it appears, what it signals, and how it can transform the way you orient yourself from now on. So stay until the end. Not just out of curiosity, but because perhaps this is the explanation that your spirit has been seeking for a long time. And if at any moment during this video you feel that something makes sense to you, remember that there are others like you, and this channel is a silent meeting point for awakened souls. Now listen with more than just your ears. Let's begin. The ringing as the language of the invisible. Not all sounds come from the outside. Some arise in silence, in the midst of routine, as if they are crossing an invisible barrier and reaching directly into your perception. The ringing in the ear is exactly that, a sound that does not belong to the physical world, but enters as if it were a message with a specific address. When you hear this ringing, it is not by chance. It is not random. It is as if the invisible is trying to speak with you, and not with everyone, only with those who have the right sensitivity, with those who have been prepared to capture these subtle messages. Many see this as an annoyance or a physical problem, but the chosen perceive it differently, because they feel that something more is happening behind the sound, a different vibration, as if the universe is trying to start a conversation. The ringing can be a code, a key, a vibrational password that is only activated when you are ready. It arrives to take you out of the automatic mode, to break the noise of everyday life and pull your attention back to something deeper. Sometimes it comes when you are distracted, other times when you are alone. But it always arrives at the exact moment. It is as if it is saying, wake up now. And this now is not just any time. It is a moment when something important is moving behind the scenes of reality. It may be the beginning of a change. It may be that your energy field is adjusting for something that is to come. Or it may be that the universe is trying to show a new path, even if you still cannot see it clearly. To hear what this sound really says, it is necessary to stop, to breathe deeply, to feel. Because it does not speak with words, it speaks with frequency, with vibration, with intuition. The ringing is the signal. The answer is inside you. Some feel peace when it appears. Others feel anxiety. And both feelings are valid, because the ringing amplifies what is already there inside. It reveals what needs to be seen. And sometimes, the spirit's first reaction is resistance. But those who listen with their hearts know. They know that this sound is sacred, that it did not come to frighten, but to awaken, that it is not a disturbance, it is direction. Perhaps you are going through a moment of uncertainty or feeling that you need to make important decisions. The ringing may be a spiritual nudge, reminding you to reconnect, to return to your center, to align with what truly matters. You do not need to understand everything now, nor do you need to have all the answers. Just welcome what comes and ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? The universe does not use megaphones. It uses signs, and only the awakened perceive. Only the chosen stop to feel. So the next time this sound arises out of nowhere, do not try to silence it. Close your eyes, breathe, and ask your spirit what it is trying to tell you. Because this sound did not come by chance. It came from a place where chance does not exist. The ringing as a spiritual alert. Not all warnings come with words. Some come in the form of sensation, others in the form of sound. And for those with open eyes and awakened spirits, the ringing in the ear can be exactly that, an alert. This sound does not come by chance. It appears at the precise moment when something needs to be perceived. And if you are chosen, you have probably felt this clearly, even if you couldn't explain it. The universe does not waste signs. Each time the ringing arises, it is signaling that there is something around you demanding your attention. It could be a strange energy that has entered the environment. It could be someone draining your vital force without you realizing it. It could even be a thought that is not yours, but is trying to infiltrate. Often it appears when you are about to make a decision. And at that instant, the sound comes as a subtle bell, saying, "Pay more attention." It could be a yes disguised as doubt. It could be a no dressed as excitement. And you need to be present to feel what is true. The ringing arrives as an invisible question. Are you paying attention? Not with your eyes, nor with your physical ears, but with your spirit. With that part of you that perceives without immediately understanding, but always knows when something is out of place. It is as if the sound is saying, stop now and observe. Observe what is around you. Observe what is within you. Observe how you are feeling. Because often what needs to be seen is not in the world. It is in your internal field. There are situations when you feel that something is not right, even when everything seems fine. And the ringing arises as confirmation. An intuition being reinforced. A push from the invisible saying, trust yourself. And at other times the sound comes as validation. You were hesitant to move forward, but something inside said that the path was the right one. Then the ringing appears, like a vibrational seal saying, yes, go. So when it arrives, do not try to get rid of it. Do not rush to the rational side. Ask silently, what is trying to show itself now? And be quiet for a moment. Because if you are present, the answer will come. This sound is a spiritual conversation. It is not something external invading your space. It is the invisible touching your perception to protect you, to realign you, to prevent you from falling into traps that have not even started yet. Often the ringing appears seconds before a strange conversation, or in the middle of a place where the energy is charged. It is your field warning. Protect yourself. Maintain your vibration. Do not get contaminated. And if you ignore it, you might leave with that strange feeling in your chest, not knowing where it came from. But if you listen, if you respect this warning, you strengthen yourself. And that is the point. The ringing is an ally, not a problem. Do not try to understand hastily. Just recognize the value of being awake. Because while many think they are in control, you are learning to navigate with another type of compass, the spiritual. The question is no longer, why does this happen to me? But what does this want to show me now? This is the posture of the awakened. Those who have realized that the invisible has a voice, and that the sound is just the beginning of the conversation. Not always does change begin outside. Sometimes it starts within, silent, slow, and suddenly you begin to notice that something no longer fits. Places, people, habits. Everything starts to sound different. It's as if you are changing seasons, like a spiritual radio tuning into a new frequency. The ringing that frequently appears is not a sign that something is wrong. Quite the opposite. For the chosen ones, it is a clear sign that something is adjusting. Your soul is changing frequency. You are leaving an old cycle and being prepared for a new level of consciousness. This change may come accompanied by different sensations. You begin to perceive more. You feel the environment more intensely. You pick up on what people are feeling, even if they say nothing. Dreams become more vivid. Intuitions grow stronger. It's as if the invisible begins to take shape. Many will not understand what is happening to you. And that's okay. Not everyone is at the same moment. But those who have already awakened know. They know that this frequent ringing is more than a sound. It is a sign, a warning that your soul is ascending a step. These vibrational changes affect your sensitivity. You start to distance yourself from empty conversations. You begin to feel discomfort in places that once seemed normal. Your soul is more selective, more aligned. You can no longer tolerate what vibrates below your new consciousness. This can create conflicts. It can cause confusion. But it also brings clarity, because the increase in frequency is not just a waking up. It is a filter. Everything that does not match this new energy begins to dissolve. Relationships change, perceptions change, priorities change. The ringing appears as the soundtrack of this transformation. It signals that something is happening beyond matter. It accompanies the moments when your energy is expanding, cleaning, organizing itself in a way that you may not yet understand, but feel. Perhaps you are noticing that you have started to be bothered by things that previously did not disturb you, or that, for no apparent reason, you have started to value silence, nature, solitude more. This is not isolation. It is alignment. Your field is adjusting to a cleaner vibration. That is why the ringing arises more strongly at certain moments. It is not disturbing you. It is accompanying this new rhythm. It is as if it is saying, keep going. You are on the right path. Do not try to interrupt this process. Just feel, and allow this elevation to follow its natural flow. You may feel tired. You may have insomnia, or even a sense of mental confusion. This is common when the frequency is rising. Your body and mind are trying to adapt to something your soul has already accepted. The ringing is just reminding you that this transition has a purpose. Many confuse this phase with a crisis, but those who listen with their hearts understand that it is growth. Every evolution has a moment of discomfort, not because it is wrong, but because you are leaving an old version behind. So, if this sound has been accompanying you, if it has become part of your days or appears at the most unexpected moments, embrace it. It is a sign that you are being refined, elevated, guided to something greater. Your spirit no longer vibrates as it once did, and everything that comes after this comes with more purpose, more truth, and more awareness. The ringing is just the beginning. The rest will come as confirmation. The sound that calls you inward. We live surrounded by noise, voices, notifications, opinions, demands. Everything happens quickly. Everything requires an immediate response. In this fast pace, very little invites us to stop. But the ringing, silent and mysterious, emerges as a different call. When this sound appears, it does not want your attention outward. It wants your attention turned inward. It's as if the universe is saying, Listen to what no one is saying. Feel what your soul is trying to show. The chosen ones understand that not every signal needs to be understood with the mind. Some signals are felt with the heart. The ringing is one of those signals. It cuts through external noise and touches directly the internal space where your intuition resides. This strange sound, which many treat as a nuisance, is in fact a key. It opens a subtle door to inside you, a kind of spiritual reminder. The answer you seek is not outside. It is there, at your center. You may even try to understand it rationally. But what the ringing reveals cannot be explained with logic. It is like a sacred vibration that resonates where words do not reach. That is why when it arises, stop, close your eyes, breathe deeply, enter into silence. It is in that silent space that your spiritual compass begins to function. It has always been there, but the noise of the world distracts it. The ringing, on the other hand, activates this compass. It repositions you. It brings you back to your axis. It aligns you with the direction that only your soul knows. How many times have you searched for answers everywhere and still felt empty? The reason is simple. You are looking outside for what can only be accessed inside. The ringing comes as a reminder of this inner path. This sound can arise in simple moments, upon waking, before sleeping, or when you are quiet. And in those times, it is saying, "Are you ready to hear what really matters?" Not with your ears, but with your spirit. It is a call to meditate, to reconnect, to silence not only the environment around you, but the confusion inside you. Because when you silence the noise, the truth appears, and it does not shout, it whispers, just like the ringing. You do not need to be an expert in spirituality to access this wisdom. You just need to be available. You just need to trust. Because the sound is not the answer, it is the door. And on the other side of it is a consciousness that already knows what you need. It always has known. This wisdom that comes from silence does not need to be explained. It needs to be lived. It brings peace, clarity, discernment. And the more you respond to this call, the more you begin to trust your feelings. Chosen one, this is your compass. This is your way to navigate even when there are no signs. Your intuition is the map. The ringing just reminds you to use it. It may seem simple, but in this world of distractions, listening to your own soul is an act of courage. So when this sound arises, accept the invitation. Take a moment, breathe, feel, and sincerely ask, what does my heart want to show me now? The answer may not come in words, but it will come. Because when you quiet yourself inside, the universe begins to speak for real. The ringing as spiritual protection. Not every danger is seen with the eyes. Not every attack is physical. And those who are chosen have already learned that what truly threatens comes from the invisible. That is why, at certain moments, the ringing in the ear appears as a silent alarm, a spiritual siren. It arises suddenly, out of nowhere, and it repeats itself at specific moments. You may be in a place, near someone, or even alone. And suddenly, the sound appears, as if the universe is saying, something is trying to enter. Protect yourself. This ringing does not come to frighten. It comes to warn. It is a mechanism of spiritual defense, a signal that there is an interference trying to access your energetic field, and that you need to be in vibrational alert. Sometimes the environment is charged. Many people, many loose thoughts, many mixed emotions, and without realizing it, you begin to absorb all of this. But your spirit feels it first, and the ringing comes to awaken you. Other times it is envy. It is a negative thought directed at you. Not because you did something, but simply because your light annoys those who live in darkness. When this happens, your field tries to protect itself. and the ringing appears as a sign that something is colliding with your energy. It can also be a more intense energetic attack. People can, consciously or unconsciously, wish you harm. And because everything is vibration, this has an impact. But the universe never leaves the chosen unprotected. The sound comes as a warning. Close your spiritual doors now. When this happens, the worst thing you can do is ignore it. And the second worst thing is to panic. What needs to be done is simple. Enter into protection. Stop for a moment. Close your eyes. Visualize a light around you. See this light covering you from head to toe, like a firm, unbreakable shield. This light can be any color your spirit shows you. It can be gold, white, blue, violet. The important thing is that it is yours, that you recognize in it the divine presence that accompanies you. Pray, breathe, visualize cleansing, feel the strength of the invisible protecting you. Sometimes the ringing also alerts you that you are vulnerable, that you are opening up your emotions too much, connecting with people or environments that do not deserve access to your field. Do not wait to be in danger to protect yourself. Make this a habit. Before leaving home, cover yourself with light. When entering unknown places, breathe deeply and feel the environment. After heavy conversations, take a cleansing bath, whether with water or through prayer. If the ringing comes no, it is not just a sound. It is a sign, a request from the universe for you to take care of your vibration. It is not about fear. It is about awareness. The true spiritual warrior is not the one who is never attacked, but the one who knows how to recognize the signal and shields themselves before harm occurs. The invisible world is real, and the battle between light and shadow is real as well. But the chosen have been prepared. They have resources that go beyond what is seen. They have spiritual protection that activates with intention, faith, and connection. The ringing is the warning. You are the guardian of your field. When it sounds, listen, retreat, strengthen your light, because no sound appears without reason, and no chosen one is warned in vain. Some sounds are merely noise, others are revelations. The ringing you have been hearing, this sound that comes from nowhere, that makes you stop for a second, is not random. It is a call, a whisper from the universe saying, you are being reminded of who you are. This sound is not common. It arrives at precise moments, often without explanation. You may be alone, quiet, or even in the middle of something ordinary, and suddenly it appears. And inside you something moves. Something seems to pull you inward, as if reality is trying to give you a signal. You feel it, but do not always understand. This is normal. The signs of the invisible are not meant to be understood by the mind immediately. They are felt by the soul, and the ringing is one of them. It is like a vibrational notification that only the chosen can capture. This call does not reach just anyone. It is subtle, almost imperceptible. But those who have awakened recognize it, because the spirit feels, and it feels differently. The ringing does not speak in words. It speaks in sensations, in pauses, in gentle pressures that say, stay alert. Something is being shown. Perhaps you have felt this in moments of doubt. Perhaps on difficult days, where it seemed that everything was dark. Or perhaps on calm days when everything seemed too peaceful to be mere coincidence. The ringing is a warning that there is something greater guiding your steps. For the chosen, it marks the beginning of a new perception, a change of view, a directional adjustment. It may arise before an important decision, or just after a conversation that stirred your energy. And in those moments, it is telling you, you are being protected. Its presence means that you are not alone, that there is a plan being orchestrated, even if you do not yet understand what it is. Your soul knows. and it is listening before you even notice. This sound awakens a sensitivity that was dormant, a direct connection to something greater. Over time, you begin to trust. Instead of being strange, you observe. Instead of ignoring, you embrace. Because you understand that the ringing is a way for the universe to show you that you are in tune with the truth. Your truth. The one that does not depend on logic, but on intuition. Embracing this sound is like accepting a silent mission. You do not need to tell anyone, but inside you something aligns. An axis strengthens. You start to walk with more presence, with more clarity, with more faith. Because you know you are being guided. This sound does not want to scare you. It wants to prepare you. It wants you to trust yourself more. To listen to your own voice with more attention. To remember that your intuition is real, valid, and powerful. That you carry a sensitivity that is a gift, not a burden. The chosen do not walk in noise. They walk guided by silence. And it is in this silence that the ringing transforms into direction, into a signal, into a revelation. The sound is not outside of you. It comes from a place that speaks to your essence. And that place knows your path. This space is not about information. It is about connection. Each of your words can illuminate the path of another chosen one. Because when awakened souls recognize each other, something greater forms. A spiritual network that strengthens and guides. And perhaps this is yet another reason why the sound has called you here. So if something inside you is saying yes, listen. Do not doubt what you feel. The call is sounding. And now you know how to listen to even what silence says.